All right, so this is May. This is what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be, as always, making a border at 2 3/4 inch at the top. So your ruler is lined up here so that it reads down at the 11 inch. That way you know you're on the right length of the paper. You go over 2 3/4, which is 3 of the tick marks or 12 of the small. I know it's a little blurry there. We're going to zoom in here in just a moment. And there's that. So this is our guideline. You are going to want to draw really lightly for this so that you can erase a lot, because we do an extreme amount of erasing for this one. You're also going to want to make sure that you are leaving some space, and we're going to start off with some very, very basic lettering here so it works. I have it up above so that you can see it. You're also going to want to make sure that you are slowing this down, because I will go faster than you probably can go. So that's okay though. All right, we're going to start off here in the center with our A, and it's going to be a line that goes here like this, and this one's going to curve back this way. We're going to do a little line that goes there. The Y is just here over a little bit, and it's going to be up and down and curve. The May, we're going to have a line that goes here, and then we're going to have one that goes a little bit at another angle, connect the mountain, and then we're going to come out here and down. So this is our basics of what we have. We're now going to make sure that we are just focusing on the skeleton of the letter, because afterwards from there we will be able to elaborate upon it. So we're going to start off with a line right here, and then we're going to make this as a curve that goes right there. My line right here, I'm going to move it over just a little bit and erase that bit right there and cap it off there. This line is just going to go straight, and we're going to stop there. And this line here, we're going to go here and go straight, and then leave that there. Definitely leave these lines if you have them, because they're actually going to be used later on. This here, we're going to go and curve here and go out further. Then we curve sharp down. I'm going to bring this one in just a little bit. And that is going to be all that we're going to do for the letter M. After this, we'll be making everything else. Over here on our A, we're going to do our markup here that shows the top. And then we're going to take this down like that. And this one here is going to go down. And we're just going to leave that alone, because I don't know the angle that it's going to be for my Y yet, but I know that it's there. So that's our base for our A. Our Y is going to be coming over here. We're going to go down and up. And then right over here, we're going to parallel line that, and I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom line. And then I'm going to leave it just as is. I'm going to erase this here part because I don't need that, and I want to make sure that I'm not too confused on all my lines. So now let's go back over here to the M and get going with this. So we're going to start up here. We're going to do a curve that comes around, and it looks like a D. Then we're going to bring this down here. And make a curve like that so that it's there. Obviously, you can see here I got to do some erasing. We're going to bring this here on this here side. It's going to come up, and it's going to come over here. We're going to continue that on and connect it there. We're going to erase this here. We've got to create it here, but we're going to erase here and bring this all the way up here so it connects there. And then I'm going to erase that part right up there. So that creates that part. This here, I want to curve this a little bit more so that it comes in just like so. My next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go right down over here. I'm going to draw a line going across here, and I'm going to pick a point right there. I'm going to draw my lines to get to there. So that creates my arrow shape right there at the end. And then I erase this here line and this here line. Next up, we're going to continue over here. So this line, we're going to continue down just a little bit further, just like so. And then we're going to start with this here mark. So I'm going to take my pencil right here, and I'm going to draw a big curve like that. Oh, I don't want to curve it on the end. It's just straight over. There's my big curve. Then I'm going to take this one here, and it's going to come up and come back and come to there. This here is an imaginary line that's going to come over here. We're going to continue it here, and it's going to continue right there and connect. I'm going to erase all of this in here so it's nice and clean, and it looks like that swoosh is going on top of all my lettering. Yes, I want to still have that gap there. We're going to have a mark that goes here, and this is going to curve around like that. I'm going to create a point here and scoop that there. Over here, I'm going to have another mark that comes out just a little bit, and then we're going to scoop it here. And there's that part is done right there. Then we have to do this here part here. So this is, we're going to take this and we're going to go over here and we're going to kind of bring it out. This one here, just bring it out some. We're going to erase this line so it goes on top of that back bar. I am going to draw my arrow so it looks like it's pointing a little bit more like this, so that it looks like it's really pointing. So I'm going to put my point here and draw a line here and draw a line here. These were all my things right there. So that is my part right there. I'm going to actually make it look like the arrow is shooting off and breaking off. So I'm going to draw a perpendicular line to things there and another one right here. Then I'm going to erase those. I'm going to do that again right up here and here, and then I'm going to erase those. Then I'm going to do another one right here and here and erase that also. So it looks like my line is broken. That is your M. Let's work on our A. So our A over here, we're going to come over here, and it's going to be a backward, well, it's kind of an S curve, but it's like a backwards S, right? So right there's the forwards S right here, and then there's backwards. We're going to take and mimic that same line, just like so. So that part's there is done. We're going to go over here, cap off that end, draw a point, connect our arrows, erase our lines that are not needed. And I'm going to widen this just a little bit. So there's that arrow. I'm going to take this and I'm going to curve it so it comes around and connects there. I'm going to erase this here line so it's not in the way. And this time I lucked out and I actually have this so it's going well. So we're going to make this line and it's going to go all the way over here. So that's a far leap there, right? Far leap for it to go. Bye, hon. All right, so here we go. We are going to now make this here. So we're going to keep that there. This line right here, we're going to take it and go here and make a curve that comes around and goes down, just like that. We're going to have it come here, and this one's going to come up and around like that. We're going to erase these here parts. I'm going to make it go behind this arrow. And then we're going to erase this here part right here. So it looks like the arrow is just kind of swooping through. And there's connected. And then we're going to erase this here part. So it looks like it's coming there. Now we're going to make this next line that is going to be going through. So this is our capital A, and I know we haven't completed this here part of it, so we can actually go here and draw our line here. And then so we're going to go here, it's going to go here, and it's going to come around. It's Gonna come back over here, and you want to make sure you're going in this area to bring it down like that. This one here, go here, like that. It's going to be skinny and go right there. We're going to erase this line part because we want to make sure that it's there like that. And we're going to take this and we're going to bring it over to connect there on the inside there. So that's our inside. We're going to create a little cutout here. So it goes here. And here's this one. And then we're going to go ahead and we are going to erase it so it looks like it's going in front of the letter there. Then it's going to be going behind the letter there. And then we're going to create an arrow right here. Draw a line here. Little point there. Let's go here. Sorry, I feel like my paper is kind of blurry and I don't know why. Okay. And then we're going to go here and do another point here. So it connects here. And again, erase that point so it looks like it's going through. We have one more arrow that we are adding to our thing. I just realized I needed to erase that on the M there. So this here point is going to come here to a point and then curve back down to a point. And we're going to draw a line that goes straight out of it like so. I'm going to erase this part. And I did draw a gap right here. You want to make sure you have that gap. And then we're going to pick our line here, right there. And then we're going to take this, I'm going to extend it just a little bit more into there so it's easier to read. Draw my line across, draw my point down there, and create my arrow right here. And erase everything in here so it all reads as one piece. And it's not all those confusing extra lines. And then we are going to erase this here part too, so it's going right over it. That is the A. We are now on the Y. So right up here at the top, we're going to do just a small curve and a straight over. And then we're going to have a line here coming up this way. It's going to curve back and it's going to curve down. I'm going to do a mark that's parallel right there. And this here mark is going to come around and it's going to come up to there. We're going to continue this line going from here. It's going to be a skinny one, going all the way up until we have it. And we're going to erase, I don't know, we're not going to erase anything quite yet. But there's that, so that line comes there, so we won't need it over here. That's the part that I need to erase. And then we're going to erase this line here because this line is going to go over this. We're going to go up here, create an arrow, and here's this. And then we erase our pieces in here. Not pizza, just pieces. So there's that. And I'm going to do a little cutout in here. So it's going to come around. It's going to come around. And this here is going to look like it's going behind there. And then it's going to look like it's busting through here. So we're going to go right here like that. And erase this part. So it looks like it's coming through. And then do a little gap. Oh, we're going to do actually a bigger gap. I'm going to do a gap that far. And then it continues there. So that's how we're going to do that part. Now up here, we're going to take this up here on this one, and we're going to go up and down and curve. And then we're going to go up and down and curve. And we're going to erase this here part and erase this here part. Now we're going to go over here and do this here part. So here's, we've gotten up here. We're going to take this line and we're going to go down and curve it. We're going to do the same right over here, making it narrow. I'm going to go down and curve out. While we're going here, we're going to do some cutouts again. So there's that one. I'm going to make that line and that line, erase between. Then we're going to do this line and this line, erase between. But note, this here part, since it's visible, it'll still be showing there. And that's all we're going to do there. What we're going to do down here is we're going to come here to this point. We're going to take this and curve it up. And then it's going to be curving down. And it's going to come back up like that. And I'm going to draw lightly through there so I can see it. And then this here part's going to curve back up. And this here part's going to curve up until it gets narrow. I'm going to make that go over that bar. We don't want it there. And then we're going to make this as a shooting sharp arrow. So we're going to go with our angles here and create their point there for our arrow. Back over here, we're going to create another line that's going to go here, back like that. This line we're going to bring down just a little bit more, same with this one. But we're going to erase this here part so it looks like that little bit is going over. And it's connected here. And then we're going to take this here and connect it there. That is your Y. So that's your May. So now let's look at this and go ahead and get our dates for it. So we're going to take our ruler, and there are 15 non-Fridays in the month of May. So here we are at the 0 mark. You're going to make marks at the 2, the 4, and the 6. I'm going to erase this here line because it goes through my letters. And then we're going to go down here. We're going to make marks at the 2, the 4, and the 6. Right down there, sorry. Not in my frame, apologies. Then we're going to make our lines. So we go here. All of these. Then we're going to go here. Again, 0 mark lined up with our guideline. 2, 4, 6. Then we got 2, 2, 4, 6. Line going through. Line going through. Line going through. Of my boxes, I'm going to go and erase this last one so that we now have just 15 boxes. The dates that we're going to be doing on here are going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, 26, 27, and 28. Now on the back of May, there are 5 Fridays in the month of May. So we are going to be drawing this into 5 spaces, however you want to do it. It's up to you. So I'm going to take this here and draw a line that goes down there. Then I'm just going to divide that in half. You don't have to do it this way. This is just how I do it. Then I'm going to make a space there and a space here. That gives me 5 spaces, and it's blurry. Sorry about that. Blurry, blurry. Excellent. Okay, so our dates for the May back are going to be 1, 8, 15, 22, and 29. That is how you do it. That is your month of May. Good job.